Hello beautiful people, I'm RaishPhoenix, and in today's video we're going to be talking about intuition. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button and click the bell so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. Alright, so intuition. I have been thinking about intuition lately in terms of what clouds it, what makes it so difficult for us to follow our intuition. I don't know, I just have like a lot of confusion around intuition, and I think it's because for a very big portion of my life, it's been very difficult for me to get in touch with my intuition when it comes to doing anything other than drawing or creating content. It's been difficult for me to navigate through those emotions, and I think it's because they've always been kind of clouded or suppressed by others' energies or other people's opinions. And I can definitely say this video is going to be more of like a reflecting thought, maybe like a food for thought type of video as opposed to clarity, because this is something I will admit I don't have a lot of clarity on. Because, okay, our intuition. I define intuition as something within us that is felt. You can't really explain it, but you feel it. It tells you what's best for you. It's less about being right or wrong, and it's more about what's best for you, how to navigate through things. Like, literally, I think that your intuition is your navigation system. What I've been thinking about is why I doubt my intuition. Like, why do I think sometimes I don't know? Like, I don't know what's best for me, or I don't know the best decision to make in certain situations. And that has been like the most challenging thing mentally to go through when you want to do what's best for you, but while you're feeling what's best for you, you also question if you're making a decision that will affect your future in a way that you didn't want it to. But then I wholeheartedly believe in yin and yang and the good and the bad coming up together, and that you need to have balance between the two to be able to appreciate the good. And I've been thinking about fear. Fear is something I've become more conscious of in terms of what it's been holding me back from. And it's made me realize that like any fear that exists within me is something that has been said to me or I've been exposed to. Like, there's nothing that I am afraid of that has, like, I feel has definitely come from me. I can remember, like, first of all, I don't like spiders, right? But I can remember kind of like the first time I ever got afraid of spiders. I was downstairs in the basement, and I think at the time my sister was staying downstairs, and them bugs like to thrive down there. So I remember that I was downstairs, I looked at the carpet, and I saw a spider, and it's not like it was the first time in my life that I've ever seen a spider. Like, I can't remember how old I was. Like, I was definitely young, like single digits young. I remember I looked down at the ground, or at the floor, as I said, and I kind of just looked at it puzzling, like, what is that? You know, like, kind of like when you see a dark bug moving on a dark carpet or on a dark surface, so you're kind of like trying to figure out what it is that you're actually seeing moving. Like, is this a spider? Is it hair? Like, what is that, right? So I remember I was looking at it, and suddenly, like, my sister picked up on the fact that I was looking at something. She looked at it too, and then she started screaming. And then it wasn't until she started screaming and I was like, oh my god, like, it's a spider, and started freaking out, that I started freaking out. And even though I have consciousness of that moment, I still don't like spiders to this day. Like, I don't want anything to do with them. And I bring that up because that was learned, that was taught to me at a young age. Not intentionally. Of course, it's not like my sister said, hey, I'm hoping a spider rolls through so I can teach my little sister how to be afraid of spiders, you know? Obviously, that's not the intention of my sister, I know that. But that moment taught me to be afraid of spiders. In that scenario, I'm starting to question how many other moments during my life like that have occurred that has blocked my intuition or has affected my ability to trust my intuition, because I was kind of like in a state of not knowing any better or not being grounded enough. I mean, honestly, the biggest thing that I'm working on right now is trusting my intuition and learning how to become more connected to it, because I think our intuition is definitely like breathing, you know? Like, we don't tell our body to breathe. We don't, like, you know what I mean? It's like we don't how do I describe it? Like, breathing is something we do. We don't have to think about it. Like, we don't have to put much thought into, okay, body, when I inhale this, you're going to do this, and you're going to exhale this. You know, like, our body just does it. The only time, which makes sense, the only time I think that we have to control our breathing is when we put ourselves in a situation where that is what depends on our well-being. Like, if you get anxiety, or if you have asthma, or if you're going for a swim. It's kind of interesting how, like, certain triggers like pollen, it's just kind of interesting how certain situations trigger those things within us, the things that are natural. The things that trigger us are blocking our ability to do what's most natural for us. And then we have to put ourselves in a situation, or become conscious or aware of the fact that those things are blocking our blessings, and then do the work to evolve from that. Which of course isn't easy at all, but it's not impossible, you know? Like, something I'm about to do for this month, for the month of May. I almost said April, oh my god, what month is it? So, for the month of May, I'm going to write down a list of affirmations specifically for trusting my intuition. Because I'm realizing that the most uncomfortable phases or parts of my life are when I'm transitioning between two states of being, and I'm not where I was, and I'm not where I want to be, but I'm somewhere in the middle. And that middle ground is confusing, it's overwhelming, it gives me anxiety. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if it's something, I mean, obviously it takes time and patience, but sometimes I can't tell if it's something where I have to let it do the unfolding on its own, or if it's something that I should actively be taking the time on reading about this, or doing some type of task or thing to bring me closer to what state I want to be in. But I've been thinking a lot about just matching the energy of what I want. And I think that's the best thing I could do for myself, you know? I think that's the best thing any of us can do for ourselves, when you really desire something or want something in your life, to match the frequency of that. So if you know you would be this happy when you get something, start doing things that make you that happy. And I know that if I was truly in touch with my intuition as much as I would like to be, I would be at peace. I wouldn't be feeling so much anxiety. I wouldn't be overthinking things. I would just have a moment, address it in the present moment, and move on. I think the best thing to do in those moments are to engage in activities that bring presence. So I'm about to be watching a bunch of stuff that makes me laugh. And I'm about to probably film more videos and do more videos like this, because I think it's so necessary to be honest with what we're going through, because I think honesty really heals us and brings us peace. And because it's realistic, you know? I think so many of us, like, bottle up what we're going through inside, or we take it out on others, or we don't have accountability for these moments, and then that's what really hurts us somewhere down along the line, whether it's with our health, or with our relationships with others, or our quality of life, basically, you know? So it's probably going to be a lot of videos of me being in my feels, but regardless, I want to keep it 100 because that's what I like to do, you know? And this is healing. This is very nurturing for me, and I hope it's healing and nurturing for you guys too, because I know I'm not alone. I know there are other people who are struggling with being in touch with their intuition and navigating through it. Also, it just occurred to me that, at least I can say definitely for me, I realized lately that I just want to be heard. That, I guess it's one of those things where it's just like, well, duh, everybody wants to be heard, but it's like, I realized that I think from the people that I've been around, like, I know it's going to vary for everybody's experience, but I think a lot of the times when we talk to each other or communicate with each other, we're always giving advice, or we're always telling the person who we're listening to what they should do, or we're always trying to apply a solution right then and there. And I think that is something that has kind of clouded our intuition. Because in a sense, I think that patience is key. Patience is something that a lot of us have kind of lost in a way, or don't have that much of, because we have so much technology. A lot of things are just a click away, and a lot of things are just like, we want it like that, you know? And I think that the more areas in our life where things become more instant gratification, it kind of contradicts what's natural within us. Because, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's just like, let's say I want to learn a language and I don't know any words in it whatsoever. Like, let's say I want to learn Japanese. It takes time for me to learn Japanese. I can't learn Japanese overnight. And even if I could learn Japanese overnight, I wouldn't be the best at it the next day. So I think when it comes to things regarding us, our ability to learn, our ability to heal, our ability to unlearn, there has to be patience. And I think that when we go through things that are very emotionally draining, difficult, upsetting, when we go through things like that, we usually want to apply a solution that we want fixed like that. And that's not realistic, you know? And I think this is why it's so important to just be heard. I think this is why it's important to have people around you who just listen, who can just hold you, who can just be there. I think there's so much healing energy in being heard, being understood, and being. Like, literally just having someone be there with you and share that moment with you. I think there's so much healing energy in that moment when you know that somebody's there supporting you. I mean, energy comes from so many things. It could be from the things that people say, or the things that people do, or the things that people don't say. But right now, I feel like, I mean, it varies for every person. It's not going to be the same for everyone, but right now I feel like, in my case, the most healing energy I feel or I desire is to be heard, understood, and to be. To have someone in your presence who can give you their fully undivided attention. And then, like, this is when it comes back to technology. Like, it's sad when you're having a conversation with someone and suddenly they're like, yep, yeah, yep, what'd you say? Yeah, like, I don't know about you guys, but that's so frustrating. Like, it's so frustrating when, like, it's one thing to check the time if you don't have a watch or whatever, but it's like, it's frustrating that some people are at a point where it's like, you can't even make eye contact with me and just listen to what I'm saying without feeling like you have to tell me what to do, or without feeling like I need anything else other than just being heard and understood. And I think that plays a very big part in intuition, depending on the type of energy or person that you are. I think when you're surrounded by people who don't nurture that within you, don't nurture being heard, or don't nurture just being in the present moment with you and giving you their fully undivided attention, it becomes very difficult to navigate through. But then there's also another part of me that's just like, we have to take accountability for those people in our lives, or where we put ourselves in a situation, because if we keep putting ourselves around people who do that to us or mistreat us, then we can't expect anything else differently. So you have to recognize where you're putting yourself and change that environment so you could heal or get the energy you desire. I actually just got an idea. So if you guys watching this, if you have any affirmations for how you keep in touch with your intuition, comment it down below. Let's literally make a list of affirmations that speak on being in touch with your intuition. So if you're in touch with your intuition and you're grounded in that, and you know what you're doing, how to do it, and you know how to do it with ease, leave an affirmation below that inspires anyone, you, me, the person sitting next to you, I don't know. Leave an affirmation down below. And if you don't have an affirmation, leave a comment about what you've been doing to get more in touch with your intuition and how it's been helping you. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Bless up, and until next time, sending out much peace, love, and enlightenment. Bye, guys.